Welcome to Sunday service. Today is, who even knows what the date today is? Jonah, what's the date today, bro?
June 27th.
June 27th, Sunday service. Sunday service is where we talk primarily about creative finance. Today, we've got a special guest, Jonah, all the way from San Francisco. If you guys can't see, he's got the San Francisco skyline in his window. Definitely can't see it.
Like, you can barely see it.
You can hear it. I can hear all the people getting arrested there. And I can smell the sourdough bread being cooked. I can smell the oysters. I can smell it all. San Francisco is amazing. Guys, today we're going to be talking about how to work with real estate agents. Now, I'm not going to say Jonah is an expert on this deal. I don't want you guys thinking like, okay, this guy's going to give me a dissertation all about how to work with real estate agents. However, he's a pretty special guy because he's now been on Jamil's podcast and my podcast.
First one.
And we got a lot of love. Look at all these sub-2 students in here loving on you, dude.
How do I see the... Oh, gotcha. Nice. Hell yeah.
A lot of comments. Guys, give this man some love. Make him feel like he's special because he is.
Dude, I love you guys.
Today, we're going to be talking about how to work with real estate agents. So let me give everybody some backstory. Recently, about a month, maybe 2 months ago. No, it must have been more than that.
It was longer than that.
3 months ago. I got this wild hair up my butt, and I said, I want to give the sub-2 family a massive, massive bonus. And so anybody in here, if you're not a sub-2 student, say no, write no in the comments. There's no shame. We will tease you a little bit, but if you're not a sub-2 student, please type no in the comments so I know how many people are in here listening that need to be educated a little bit on how we operate in there. Freddie says no. Thank you, Freddie. Jay White says no. Corey says no. Daryl Stanford says no. Amazing. So if you're not a sub-2 student, it's hard to explain to you what we do inside of sub-2. Like here's Jonah, joined the mentorship nearly a year ago, still getting massive value. 10 months after you join the mentorship or so, I release the nationwide realtor list, right? That list cost me about, I don't know, $10,000. And I release that whole list to the entire country. Everybody that's a sub-2 student gets that list. Now, what's special about that is that, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks ago, Jonah, is a lovely human being, he comes into Zoom and he says, yo, I just want to come in here and thank you. And I'm like, really, Jonah, what's up? And he goes, because of you. It wasn't because of me. It was because he took action on something that I, nudged him.
Yeah, but you helped out a lot.
Well, come on. That's what we're going to break down today. We're going to break down what you brought me to the door. Thank you. So Jonah goes, I want to thank you. I made $20,000 from the realtor database that you gave to me.
Let's go.
And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I get part of that $20,000? Just kidding. I don't want part of the $20,000. But I appreciated the fact that he said, thank you. And what I got excited about is that Jonah actually took action on that realtor list. And I thought today, I really wanted to bring Jonah in and just kind of walk through that journey of how many calls does it take? What does that look like? What's your script? Can if I'm a non-sub-2 student, can Jonah help me out if I have a deal? Though all those things we're going to talk about today. So Jonah, I want to spend the next 7 minutes or so. What do you think about these comments? Do you feel like you're getting some love?
Oh my God. I love it so much. I was so excited to come on here just to hang out. I love this type of stuff, being able to talk about real estate and actually help other people out on it.
Yes.
Half my business is from just calling sub-2 students and Astro students and being like, here's how you work with agents. Get a deal. I'll dispo it. Let's JV it.
Seriously?
Yeah, well, close-ish, probably around half, I'd say. I remember I did a deal in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which I know nothing about because I just was on one of the Zooms. And
you're not allowed to make money in any city unless you can name one fact about that city. So name me one fact about Santa Fe.
I'll give you a lot of Adobe houses.
There you go. That's a good fact. Here's another good fact. It's the name of a song in a Disney movie called Newsies.
Wow. That's a random
song
one.
by Christian Bale himself.
Whoa.
Do you know that, Connor? Connor doesn't know that. So, Jonah, you're doing a deal in Santa Fe, New Mexico. When was this?
That was a while ago. That was like 2 or 3 months ago. That already closed. That was fun. I mean, it was just literally, it was a guy, he was an Astro student. He just started, he had been doing direct to seller way longer than me. Like I started in real estate. I didn't even know about real estate like January of not this year, but last year. That's when I started finding out about real estate. And he's been doing it for like 10 years or something like that. And he just joined Astro Flipping. He's like, hey, like, how do we find buyers super quickly? I kind of need this. I'm a flipper, not a wholesaler usually. And I'm like, okay, well, let me do it. Let me JV'd it.
Amazing.
It was fun. Yeah.
So
squad up. I'm gonna give my number out. Obviously, I gotta do it like Pace did. Like I'm gonna give my number out probably at the end. Bro. Yeah, dude. I mean, if I get my Cody Barton, that would be lit on this.
You will find this is how you fish for a Cody Barton.
Just keep throwing out my number until somebody wants to be my business
Let's
partner.
do it. You want to give out your cell phone number?
Sure, my guys.
Okay, what's your cell?
So it's 510 726 8684.
8684.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they going to get a blue bubble text or a green bubble text?
Green bubble text.
How did I know to ask that? How did I know? It's
what
like all these hyper intelligent people are Android users. I don't know what the deal is.
That's hilarious. I'm thinking about switching back to the iPhone. The original reason why I got Android was, I don't know. I was just hating on Apple for a while.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. It's the feud that will go on for forever. So everybody, I want everybody to send Jonah a text. Okay. I want everybody to send him a text right now. Make sure you save him in your phone. I have made millions and millions of dollars from the fact that I put my phone on Steve Trang's podcast. And at the time, Steve only had like 120, 130 live viewers. So think about like, it's funny, Jonah. This is not an exaggeration. I get a text message literally every single day from a podcast I did with Steve Trang 2.5 years ago.
I believe it.
Still to this day, I get a text message is this Pace Morby? Hey, I need some help. Blah, 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 right? I get that almost every day. So guys, I've got his phone number on the screen. I want everybody to text him.
I was about to say, like, I didn't know how to put it in the comments.
I want everybody, it's up on the screen now. It's literally on the screen. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you guys are listening to it on iTunes or Spotify, I'm going to say the number one more time. Pull out your iPhone notes and make a note of this. 510-726-8684. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Cool. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to remember Jonah is somebody that will do deals with you. Jonah, will you do deals all over the country?
I will. I mean, I won't lie. I'm the most like useful to you in California because I know this market so well. But like I said, I did a deal in Santa Fe. I'm down to go to other places. I'm thinking about like, that's the next step, I think, for my business. It's like, okay, I've got it in my market. Let's try it in other ones. Like I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get to agents. I'm just going to talk to you forever about whatever.
This is why I like my podcast, because I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. I don't have to worry about Brent or Jamil. Like,
yeah,
I can just do what I want on my show. And if people don't like it, they can kiss my butt.
It'd just be really funny if we don't even talk about agents and we just talk about.
In fact, that's exactly what we're going to do. No, just kidding, guys. I promise you, we will talk about agents.
Yeah, that's like the next step, though. I think is like trying to do it in different markets and like being more open to it, even though I don't necessarily know them as well. Like, I really want to start doing that. So like, please, I usually say this at the end, but I'll say it now too, is like, please hit me up. Like I was telling him, I swear to God, half my business is like agents and the other half is helping all of you guys out and having you guys help me. Like, I mean, I got lunch with Vincent the other day and he just like the entire lunch was worth it just for like one line that I wrote down. That was like, I mean, he's working with wholesalers and I have the line here if I should just want to throw it out there also.
Who knows who Vincent is? His name is not Vincent anymore. He's officially been dubbed Uncle Lonza.
I love that. That's so
Uncle
good.
Lonza. Well, here's what's funny is Vincent and his wife, and they come out to the mastermind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And By the way, he's an unbelievably great speaker. He's so good. He spoke for like an hour at the mastermind. And we were calling his wife Aunt Lonza, which was great. And then she started so she gets up and she speaks for a little bit. And she's referencing and calling him, oh yeah, you know, when I travel around with Uncle Lonza, like she's now calling him Uncle Lonza.
That's really cute. I like that.
It's the cutest thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah. He also is such a good uncle. Like he's definitely has very uncle vibes, 100%. Like great dubbing of a name.
Yeah. So guys, anybody that's a non-student and doesn't know who Uncle Lonza is, his name is Vincent Douglas Lonza. He's amazing. He only works
up on my phone right now.
You are good.
Yeah.
Uncle Lonza came into the mentorship was it about the same time you joined? When did you join, Jonah?
Vincent? The same time as Vincent?
Vincent joined
he joined really early. I basically got my first deal. I remember that was July of last year. And then I basically joined like a month after that because I was like, all right, I have some money, but I need to join.
So you were August-ish.
August, okay, cool. I think.
So Vincent was in the mentorship for 3 or 4 months. Here's what Vincent did. And I'll be really quick because I want to make sure we reference who you hung out with and the fact that you guys are both in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's great to like squat up with your market if you are in sub 2. 100%.
Dude, it's the best. If you're in sub 2 and you're not hanging out with your local like sub 2 family, you are missing out on like millions of dollars of value, right? Mm-hmm. So Vincent Lonza comes in. He immediately starts taking action. And the first thing he takes action on is I said, okay, I want you guys not coming in and asking me theoretical questions. I want you asking me questions and bringing problems to me. And Uncle Lonza was like, okay, you want me to go cause problems and bring them to you? And I'm like, that's what I'm here for. Go cause problems. Let's talk about it. And so every time he came into a Zoom, I knew he was bringing me a problem. And over and over and over, he did that to the point where he started becoming somebody in the mentorship that people started reaching out to over and over and over. And he has over-delivered value. Just like you said the other day, you guys go to lunch. And what's great, this is why I think a one-on-one mentorship is total crap. I think a community mentorship is the way to go. And most mentorships, I 100%. Think in the future are going to follow what Sub 2 did because Jonah, you now are providing millions of dollars of value to new students and current students based on the action you're taking on working with real estate agents. So you're getting people reaching out to you and saying, hey, I've got a deal, or hey, how do I reach out to realtors or whatever else? And you, because you give them value, they're actually bringing deals to you. And that's why half of your business is built on Sub 2 or astro flipping.
Well, actually, my entire business is based on astro flipping and Sub 2, like both of them. Like
love it.
In the sense of all my business is referrals. Like it's agents, wholesalers, or other flippers.
Got it.
Half of it is people in Sub 2 and astro flipping.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about realtors. Does anybody actually want to learn about something?
I just want to hang out, dude. Like this is so nice to have a one-on-one with you where we just like kick the shit. Dude, I swear. I won't swear too much, but
we'll always get 1 or 2 people that are like, they're like cringe. I don't like it when you cuss. So I'm very sorry, guys. I am sensitive to it.
Okay.
I am sensitive to it. Did you see the Wholesale Hotline the other day when Jamil cussed somebody out? That was very level 10 intense. Did you see that?
I went on a Zoom after with Jamil and he said like, I didn't like that I did that. Please don't watch it. So I was like,
yeah, he talked about it for like a week straight. We had to say a prayer together for him to like get it out of his system.
Yeah. We're human.
So tell me this, you work with realtors and this is what I want to do. I want to come up with a step-by-step process for people because everybody wants give me step 1, Jonah.
Step 1. And honestly, like some people might not think this is a step, but this is the most important step. This is the base.
Oh, hold on. Don't hold on. If you're saying that this is that important, hold on a second. I want to switch this up real quick. And I'm going to do a little iPad share and I'm going to write down what Jonah's saying because he's saying this is so important. It's not even really a step, but it's the most important step. So I'm going to call this step 0, guys.
Yeah.
What is this step, Jonah?
It's mindset. It's mindset related. Stop thinking about getting a deal. Start thinking about how you can add value to them. stop even necessarily expecting a deal. Like, you naturally in the universe, if you start giving, you will receive. And when you have that mindset of like, okay, how am I offering more value to this real estate agent? What could they need that I want, or that I can provide them, that would make it worth it to them? And I feel like, to me at least, there's all the stuff that we also all talk about, like take action, follow up. And we'll get into that, of like my process of making sure I stay on realtors. But that one, where I think that makes the entire difference between somebody who it can really get a lot of deals in general, but especially from realtors, since we're talking about that, like just having a go-giver attitude as much as possible. And I mean, Pace, you're literally like the god at that. It's like, if you aren't in sub-2, I don't know what you're doing. He's given like Priuses away of value in every single week. Like, anyways, so that's in my opinion, step one is like, think about like, how much can I give to this realtor, or just anybody in general, is like making sure your mindset is right on there. So into the actual process though, like the technical
I've got Connor Winter, which is, this is so funny because Connor Winter is literally sitting in front of me, 4 feet in front of me. He's in the studio with me. Guys, he's marrying the Wolf of Wall Street's daughter. Give this guy some congratulations. Wow. He's going to have a lot of fun with that. Congratulations. What's her name? Chandler, right? Chandler. They are getting married in September, and he's sitting here in the studio, and he has a burning question. The burning question is, what's the one line that Uncle Lonza said to you at lunch, Jonah? Don't go into step one. We need to know that line. Do you remember what it was?
Oh yeah, I wrote it down immediately. I never want to forget this line. Okay, so we're really getting off topic again though. So
no, this is on topic. So it's so pertinent because Uncle Lonza is number one. We needed Uncle Lonza, and we needed you, and we needed so many people to join this mentorship. Okay. We needed you guys in here. And the reason being is because you guys already have the mindset of a go-giver. And what we did in this mentorship, this is not my mentorship. This is whose mentorship, Jonah?
The communities.
This is the community. This is our mentorship. And here's what I mean by that. Everybody, we set the tone in the very beginning. We only bring go-givers into this group, or people that want and desire to be a go-giver. And then we set the tone, and it becomes this infectious thing that everybody is like obsessed. It's a light cult is what it is, right? It's very light cult. It's all of us loving on each other, believing in each other. It's so amazing. So Uncle Lonza talking about adding value and not expecting anything in return, back to your step 0. It has to be, this is so pertinent. So what did Lonza say?
Okay. So this is, now we're talking about working with wholesalers. Cause for me, this is getting to my business problems. I've been needing to mesh sub-2 and astro flipping better. Mm-hmm. I want to mesh them. I was thinking about like how funny it would be if I started a company called Sub Glee, and if you guys would get mad or not.
That's a great idea, dog.
I'm curious if you guys, I think it would be hilarious to have that. But anyways, so we're talking about how to get sub-2 deals from wholesalers, because I don't want to spend money on marketing. I want to max out all the free lead sources first, at the very least. And one of my goals is get a seller financing deal. I still personally haven't done a creative deal yet, and that's my own fault, is because I've been focusing more on wholesaling.
Look, here's let me point this out just real quick, because this is interesting. A lot of people come into sub-2 and this is funny because Chuck Billy did like $500,000 in novation agreements in the last like 60, 70 days. Right. But then he's like, but I haven't done like my own personal sub-2. I'm like, bro, just because the mentorship is sub-2 doesn't mean you have to go out and do only sub-2. Do we not teach wholesale, fix and flip? Do we not teach co-wholesaling and bringing value to realtors? Do we not teach all these things? Bro, the fact is this: are you doing more deals because you joined the mentorship?
100%.
Then who cares whether you've done a seller finance deal or not? It will come in your pipeline. So let's go. I want to hear about
going to this. So going to this is one of my goals this year is 100% buy your first house, own some real estate, like start getting the wealth process. I've got the income generation. I got wholesaling. I've made some money, and now I actually have money to put down payments or like pay like a couple payments for a seller financing deal.
Right.
So I wanted to talk to him about like how to do it with wholesalers. And getting to it basically with wholesalers is that he talks a lot about like you have to make them understand you're not their competition. Because that's like a huge barrier a lot of times. It's like wholesalers are like, why would I send you your leads? Like, I'm going to keep working them. Right. Like, I'm going to eventually get this seller who wants ARV to give me 60 cents off the dollar. And obviously they're not, but they don't know that yet. So here's his line. His line to get past that is, and I want to make sure I don't screw it up.
Are we sure we want to share this with the world? I don't think the world's ready for this, Jonah.
Just let me make sure I don't screw it up. Okay. This is the line. Just when talking to them and talking about like what you do. So just being like, we are more long-term investors and we actually have negative cash flow on all of our acquisitions because our business model is not to make money now, but to make it in the long term. Now, I don't know if you guys know, the most important part of that, in my opinion, is emphasizing the not to make money now, because that's what a wholesaler's thing is. Like, I need money now. It's the whole point of wholesaling. Right. But like, we're focusing more on the long term and making sure they understand that we're not in competition. Because that's been my main problem, I think, with wholesalers and like creative deals is a lot of them, to me at least, have just been like who is this guy? He thinks he's a better closer than me, kind of thing. And I've been like, okay, I need to switch this away. But anywho, that was that conversation is because I want to start really getting into the wholesalers.
Love it. Okay. So yeah. Connor, have we sufficiently answered the question? He's got.
Yeah, if you want me to expand on it.
No, because here's the thing. Here's what I've learned about creating content. If you bring something up in the very beginning of a podcast and you just like glaze over it, somebody's at the end of the podcast, somebody's going to go, so you're literally never going to like tie that loose end from 45 minutes ago. So it's good to know where our loose ends are so we can move on with the show. So guys, we know what number one is, right? Number one is mindset and adding value, right? So, let's see if I can figure this out. I'm an idiot, obviously. So mindset and adding value. And let's talk about this. So what is now that I understand that I'm going to go and add value, let's talk about that for just a second, because I saw a handful of people say, oh my gosh, I'm brand new, Jonah. What do I know about adding value? What value do I have? I'm just a newbie idiot. I don't know anything about anything. What do I do to add value to somebody? Okay, so first off, no matter how new you are, the fact you're watching this and watching YouTube videos means you can add way more value than at least 90% of the agents on anything related to real estate investing. Isn't that interesting, Jonah? Let's talk on that for just a second. Most people think that a real estate agent, and guys, if there's a real estate agent here, please don't get upset. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about literally everybody but YouTube you. Videos. and you're in here watching a wholesale and creative finance podcast. Most real estate agents aren't. There's three types of real estate agents in my mind. Okay. Here's the three real estate agents. Number one is the undercover agent. Okay. I call them an undercover agent because they really are not an agent. They maybe do 1 or 2 deals a year that are like for brothers, sisters, whatever. And they're not well versed, right? They just get these lap deals where it's like grandma needs to sell their house, so they get a deal, right? They get a listing out of it. So they got their license thinking that was the way to get into business. Their people, friends and family know they're a realtor and they get a couple of deals. Okay. That's an undercover agent in my mind. And what do I mean by that is that they have a full-time regular job and they're a realtor on the side. That's an undercover agent. The second type of agent is somebody who is full-time doing listings, buyer appointments, all that kind of stuff. And they have not quite figured out how to actually build wealth for themselves, right? Their real estate business is a business, but it's also a business that owns them, and they haven't figured out how to get out of that. The third real estate agent is an agent investor, somebody who is like, I need to start doing things for myself. I need to start investing. I need to start figuring things out, whether it's wholesaling the stuff that I can't list, whether it's buying subto seller finance deals, Airbnb, whatever. The agents that are agent number 3 are the agents listening to this show. So please don't think this is a criticism whatsoever. But Jonah, it is interesting. The more agents you talk to, the more you realize that you know more about real estate than probably 99% of realtors out there. Is that correct?
100%. Easily. So yeah, going back to like newbies, you know something. You have value to add, and I don't want you to think you don't, because I mean, I had that problem when I just started. I'm like, God, I have no idea what I'm doing in general. Like, how am I gonna, like, this guy says he's been in it for 20 years. Doesn't matter. They still might not know anything. It's still possible.
Right.
So anyways, well, the question was, what were we talking about? Like the adding it, whether you can add value even if you're a newbie.
Right.
So you can, because you know all of these things that realtors don't. So I'm just going to get into the process now.
Actually,
so like
can I tell you why? Can I tell you what value you have, Reese, real quick? Because here's the reality. If I'm brand new and I'm listening to this, guess who I have access to? I have access to Jonah. I have access to Uncle Lonza. I have access to these other people, right, that are educated and done on this. So, Jonah, let's establish this, because there's people in this audience that are like, I still don't quite understand what value I can bring. You don't need to know anything other than what this process is. And then you bring the opportunity or the relationship to somebody like Jonah, and you guys go and work a deal together and let Jonah bring value that you can't quite comprehend. Okay. Perfect. I don't even need to know what an assignment contract is. I don't need to know what a listing agreement I don't need to know anything. All I need to do is take some of these action steps. And then when I get an opportunity, I bring it to somebody who does know how to handle that. Is that correct, Jonah?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Perfect.
Please bring me your problems. One of the things that I'd say, and we'll get into this, to realtors, because they'll ask a realtor, one thing that realtors will always ask you is, what's your criteria? I'm like, okay, I have a technical criteria that I can give you. That's just like in the Bay Area, 75% of ARV, just flat. But really my criteria is I want problems. I want houses that have some sort of problem that I can solve. And whether it's tenants, like if there's squatters, if there are tax liens that need to get negotiated, is the bank going to foreclose in 3 days? Is there no equity? Do they want to have a price, but they really are motivated to sell? Any of these, if you're ever on a listing appointment and you have any of these and to you it just doesn't make sense as a listing, I would love to be the hammer in your tool belt that you use to solve that problem and help the seller out and get your commission.
I thought you were going to say something like, if you're looking to get nailed, I'll be the hammer, but I'm glad you went the other direction. That's a great
just
analogy.
Start hitting on realtors.
Yeah. So here's my question. I'm a realtor. Okay. So I think is step one, actually tell them that you are looking for problems. Is that step one? Like you reach out and you say, hey, my name is Jonah. I have a view of Boutine Bakery and also Pier 49 and the seals and all that kind of stuff. I have a great view. Don't know if you want to be friends, but let's hang out. Is that step one? What's step one?
So step one, because we can get into this. Step one is, it's very simple. It's actually almost the exact same as a seller. Just being like, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking for fixers in the Bay Area or wherever you are. Do you know of any fixers? Just starting it off simply.
Okay, so I'm a realtor. You're calling me. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, this is Pace. How can I help you?
Hey, Pace. My name is Jonah. I'm a real estate investor in the Bay Area. I heard you're a realtor in the Bay Area. Is that correct?
Yeah, dog. But I'm in Oakland. I'm a little bit more gangster than most of those, like, not cool people in the Bay Area or in San Francisco. I'm in Oakland. So what's up, bro?
For sure. I grew up in Berkeley. It's pretty close.
Oh, damn. They got amazing Ethiopian food in Berkeley, dude.
They got amazing food everywhere in the Bay Area.
I digress. What's up, dude? What can I
do? So yeah, I just wanted to do like a little intro call. Like I really like actually getting to know the person who I'm about to do business with. So I just want to say it's great actually getting on the phone with you. So I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking for fixers all over the Bay Area. Do you happen to know of any right now?
So you're looking for like people who are fixing and flipping?
No. I'm a real estate investor. Like I fix and flip, and I do like all sorts of different strategies too, like creative finance and like
So you are a potential fix and flipper. You're looking for an opportunity, like a project, and you're calling that a fixer.
Yes.
Got it.
Me and my business partners.
Got it. Okay. So you and your partners are looking for fixers. Like, what areas? Are you just buying anywhere? Like, what's your criteria?
So we buy all over Northern California, from Fresno to Redding. But to be honest, Pace, like, I can give you the technical criteria, which is 75% of after repair value. So I'll explain that real quick. If a house is worth $1 million fixed up, I want to buy it in its fixer state at about $750,000. That's the fast. That's like the fast and easy rule, so that let's not try to calculate my profit and all of that. That gets too complicated. Let's just stick to that. And that's really important. That little line, by the way, getting out of the call just for a second, is
a lot of them don't know. Let me hang up my phone for a second.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of realtors don't know what ARV is. You'll see that. They don't know what that even means. So you got to explain.
Don't they teach that in realtor school?
No, they don't. So you gotta explain it sometimes.
Isn't that right? After they teach realtors how to comp and like value properties?
Yeah. No, they don't teach you anything. It seems like, I guess, not how to get sued. That's what I think is the.
That's a lot of it, and there's a lot of terminology like what is a plot and how to measure a plot and what is the size of an acre. I went to real estate school, took the test, and I was like, oh my gosh. So realtors don't know what ARV is. So you have to sit there and explain to them what ARV is.
Mm-hmm. And I go through, like, I use a very simple number, $1 million, 75%, 750,000. So, like, they got it very simply, just as simple as possible, get it out there. And I sometimes have to explain that 2 or 3 times. Like, some people just don't get it. And I just go through it over and over again if I need to. But keeping going in the conversation. So, all right. So yeah. So this is my technical criteria is if a house is worth $1 million fixed up.
Can you guys tell he lives in New York City right now, by the way?
San Francisco,
we keep telling you he's in San Francisco. It sounds like he's in New York City.
Can you? Oh, it's because I'll close my window. Sorry.
No, bro, it's perfectly fine.
Okay. I just don't want it to be distracting. I live in the part that Fox News comes to, and it's like, oh my God, this liberal hellhole.
I love it. It gives us ambiance, because here's why. Because people think that it's impossible to do deals from San Francisco. It's impossible to do deals in California. It's impossible to do. How many times do you hear that, Jonah, on people's podcasts? It's like, oh, California's so hard. There's no deals there. There's no blah, 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 blah. Here you are.
Stupid.
In Siren Town, wherever you live, San Francisco, like literal San Francisco.
I live in downtown. I live in everything's happening everywhere.
So, do you know the story about Robert Allen, about how LA Times brought him to San Francisco? Okay, let me tell you the story real quick. This is why I think the ambiance of San Francisco is really good. LA Times challenges Robert Allen, who's the author of Nothing Down. They challenge him and they go, you can't do what you say you said you could do in the book. So he goes, yes, I can. And they go, okay, we challenge you. We're going to send you to the most difficult city in the world to do real estate. And we're going to put a reporter on your butt for 72 hours. So he flies to LA and they go, okay, let's jump on a plane. So him and a reporter fly to downtown San Francisco, because LA Times did the analytics and found that being in downtown San Francisco is nearly impossible to do real estate. And so he went in and he bought 7 houses in 72 hours, and they did it all in a whole LA Times article about how he did it all with nothing down, all within 72 hours, bought 7 houses, and he did it in downtown San Francisco. So here we are in downtown San Francisco. LA Times has said that it's impossible to do deals in this area. And I'm not saying you're doing deals downtown. I'm just saying the fact that you live in downtown San Francisco, you're not in like what people would think: Arizona, real estate mecca; Texas, real estate mecca; Atlanta, Florida, all these places that everybody thinks. You and Uncle Lonza are sitting there in downtown San Francisco making this happen, building an entire business based on value first and referral only business. That's it.
Yep.
So 100%. Can you do this from anywhere, Jonah?
You could literally do this from anywhere. Anybody who says California's like any harder, like maybe, but like the process still works. Like it's hard for me to have perspective because I haven't really started doing it in other places, but to me, it's just bigger spreads. I mean, when you're dealing with $1 million properties, it's much easier to get a $20K like assignment fee than if it's $300,000 or whatever.
Okay. So you call me up and you say, hey, look, I'm looking for fixers. I'm looking for houses. And the realtor says, well, what's your criteria? Because they're going to say that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
They're going to say that every time. And so your answer is brilliant. This is what you say. You sum it up very quick and you go, well, actually, the technical analysis, or the technical answer is super boring. I don't think you want the technical answer. So let's just keep it really simple. I'm looking for problem houses, and I'm looking to buy somewhere about 75% of what the house would sell for if it was completely remodeled. So if it was completely remodeled and could sell for $1 million, I'm looking for something for $750,000 so I can do my stuff. Yeah. What does the realtor typically say to that answer?
So to the answer, I'll go through the whole thing. So I would be it's like, here's the real answer. I'm looking for problems, and here's why. This is what I specialize in. To give you a little background, I actually started in real estate as a wholesaler, and what I learned from that was I learned how to solve problems. I can negotiate tax liens. I know how to stop a bank from foreclosing in 3 days. I know what to do if there's no equity, if there are squatters, if they need a truck moved. I don't care what it is. I promise you, I'm going to be able to solve it because of this experience that I had as a wholesaler. And those are the things that I'm looking for. And if you're ever on a listing appointment and it doesn't make sense as a listing, if it has any of these types of problems, because this probably will make it less good for the MLS, please think of me as the hammer in your tool belt that you use to solve the seller's problem and get you your commission, because this is why we exist. We exist to help people. Yes, we're here to make money, but why I love this and what our mission statement basically is we're here to help sellers solve their problem. And that goes back into the mindset.
So let's say a realtor doesn't have a deal at that point. He doesn't have a fixer. Do you follow up with him? Is there a follow-up process?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So all my realtors, I mainly do it through texting. That's how I communicate. You want to get on the phone, but getting into the technical stuff, I initially do a text blast. So I do a text blast that's very simple. Think of a seller, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking for fixers. I found your number off the National Realtors list. Do you know of any fixers? And then it'll be a follow-up one. I could read them. I have it. I can get up my campaigns real quick. But I have a 3 text campaign. I'll send it out once, and then I'll do a follow-up to that if they didn't respond. If they respond...
Everybody keeps asking, who's Uncle Lanza? Guys, Uncle Lanza, go back to the beginning of the podcast. Uncle Lanza is a sub-2 student who joined the mentorship in the very, very beginning, and he's become one of the hundreds of leaders in the mentorship that are amazing, and we love him. And his name is Vincent Douglas Lanza, but we call him Uncle Lanza because he's basically the most kick-ass uncle I've ever had. Okay, there's your answer. A great question. I've seen it about 12 times in the side chat. So you have a campaign, a texting campaign.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I do the initial outreach, is a texting
Love
campaign.
It. Okay. So you take the list, the list that I give you. Did that help?
Yeah, of course. That's how I got that 20K deal.
Okay. So I give you a $10,000 list. It's the nation, but you're not texting the nation. Who are you basically texting? Just San Fran? Just
San Francisco, Sacramento. I'm starting to get into the Central Valley. Just all of those areas, because there's a ton of numbers on that list. So it's going to take me a while to get through all of them. And realtors are a lot more responsive than sellers. So
how do I get that list?
Join subto, I guess, or spend $10,000.
That's the answer. If you're not a sub-2 student, go spend $10,000 on the list. So you get the list. What do? You load it into direct mail? Are you text campaigning? Are you cold calling?
Text campaign.
Text campaign. What software?
Text campaign. What I use is REI Reply. I like it. It's really cool. It's a little laggy because it's newer, which kind of sucks, but it's what I've used when I was broke because it costs only $50 a month. So that's what I was using, and I'm just on it now. So in terms of follow-up, so let's say we have that whole conversation we were just talking about. Like, I want to bring you value, all of that. We have that great conversation. We're loving each other. It's great. I make sure I follow up with them at least once a week to just be like, hey, how you been doing? Do you happen to have any fixers? Just keeping up on them. And then if they do have an opportunity, I put like a little task. I follow up with them every day until I don't know what's happening with that fixer. So yeah, just like keeping like straight follow up. As soon as they give you an opportunity, stay on it. So many deals that I get are just being like, you keep texting me like for the past 6 months, every single week. So I mean, you obviously want it, so I'm going to give it to you first. That's
literally my strategy for getting a date. It's like before I was married, it was like, it took me 6 months to get a yes. So great strategy, guys. This works in business and in relationships. You just pester people.
Start doing text blasts to cute girls.
Here's a reality. This is what I like about this is the reason why the strong long-term follow-up, the joke is funny, but the reality is this. You're showing them that you have staying power and that you are going to be around for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or whatever it is. You have staying power and you are showing them tangible proof of that.
Right. Yep. It's definitely part of it. And also just building a relationship. You're doing the same thing you're doing with a seller. You're building rapport. Like, that's what you're doing there, is like constantly keeping up with them. Like, they know you, they like you. They want to send you deals when they find something.
What's my outreach text, bro? What's my first text? I feel like this is step one. We're getting
nowhere.
No. Hold on. No, we are getting somewhere. This is great.
Yeah. So here's
step 0 is mindset. Okay.
Yeah.
Step 0 is mindset. Walking into these relationships, understanding that you are here to add value. You are looking for what Jonah has deemed what we call a fixer. That must be something they teach in astro flipping, because we don't teach that word fixer in sub 2. But I like it. Now I'm adding it to my nomenclature. We're going to start using that word. I love it. So what you do is you actually don't call these agents right out of the gate. You take the list. Is that list large enough that have you reached out to every realtor yet?
Not even close. There's so many realtors on that list. Like, you could probably, Pace, you have tons of VAs, so I bet you could kill it. But for me, the great thing is they're way more responsive than a seller. Like, let's say I send out a blast of 100, probably at least 80 or 90 will at least respond throughout the whole thing. Like, they're very responsive because they're much more like wanting to get a deal, right? They're like, oh, great, another real estate investor. That's cool. Some people don't want to work with real estate investors or whatever, but whatever, like, that's going to happen. But you'll get a lot more responses.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
who cares?
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
Some people don't like Taco Bell, and those people are crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And the goal is to have that conversation we've been talking about. You want to get on the phone. That's where the money is made.
What's my outreach? What's my text, bro?
Okay. All right.
Here's guys, I'm gonna break this down, because everybody's gonna be like, what's the steps? They want to get off. They want to know the steps, dog. We got to do the steps. The steps are critical.
Can I
step
post
1, what's that?
Can I post like the actual text that I send?
Yeah,
or
post it.
Okay.
Dog. Actually, what I like to do is I like to tease people, and I like to say, "Do you guys want the text?" And then they have to. What you should do. Don't tell people the text. Here's what we should do. Okay. We've got over 300 people watching this live right now. We should have everybody text you, and then you have to manually text them back. This is where your phone's going to get blown up. Okay,
my phone's already blown up.
Okay, but I already know I know the equation. Here's the equation. When you have 300 people watching live, you give them the phone number. About 40 or 50 people will actually take action and text you. The other ones are like, oh no, I'm watching, I'm doing something else and watching this on the side. I'm chopping up carrots. I'm not really. But guys, you want to know, does everybody want to know the text that Jonah uses to do outreach to real estate agents? Remember, his entire business is built on this.
I'm getting texts now. They're like, we want the text.
Yes, that's
Give
exactly
us the text. Okay, so am I reading it aloud or what am I
No,
doing?
heck no. Do not read that out loud.
I
You
have
want
to. Oh,
people
I
to.
actually. Okay, so we're gonna exhibit. I'm texted to every single person. All right, for
Here's what
sure.
I've learned. If people just come on a podcast and they just consume content and they don't do one thing on that podcast, they did not really absorb anything. So
Right.
guys, your lazy butts need to take your lazy fingers and text on your lazy phones. Text Jonah right now and say, "Give me the text, dude." And what he's going to do, we're not going to talk about it on the live. I want you guys to text this guy. Okay. I've
Yeah, I
given
do
you the
too.
phone and we are not going to say it on the live. If you do, Jonah, I'm going to be so pissed off.
I'm not gonna say it. Like I'm gonna say
Hey,
it.
the text,
I want them to text me too. That's my whole entire business is connecting with people.
exactly the point, guys. Do
Yeah,
you not want to do a deal with Jonah?
I want to do a deal with every single person in here.
By the way, here's
possible.
Mike Hayes, one of my favorite students. Mike Hayes out of Houston, Texas, got his 4th sub-2 deal the other day. That dude is shredded, by the way. Do not challenge him to an arm wrestling contest. His text message, guys, I've texted it. I put it in the chat 100 times. Literally, I've posted it multiple times. It's in the chat and it's on the screen. 510-726-8684. Okay, text him right now. 510-726.
I'm getting blown up, bro. You probably just gave me. I think I just received like probably 70 texts.
Do you see what I'm talking about? People need to learn how to take action. Get it ingrained. Take the action. Go. You are sitting here. This is what's funny, Jonah. I told people to text you 30 minutes ago. And now because they're getting something out of it, now they're texting you.
Right. I'm not kidding. Yeah,
I love you guys.
No, I agree.
But guys, think about that. Now you're texting him. Guys, think about that. You could have squatted up with him 30 minutes ago.
This thing is buzzing out of control.
His Android's going to die. Okay.
Yeah. Like
it's going to die from lack of power.
Lost 10% from that 5 minutes.
So guys, he's got the nationwide realtor database. He's not going to share it with you unless you're a sub-2 student, but he definitely has access to doing deals all over the country. So here's my thing. If I'm somebody in Albuquerque, New Mexico, if I'm somebody in upstate New York, I'm somebody in Hoboken, New Jersey, for heaven's sakes, that little 1 mile by 1 mile square, whatever it is, wherever you live, I would have texted Jonah and said, "Hey man, I can help you be boots on the ground in any deal, in any market you get a deal." There's some value that you can bring to this man, Jonah.
That would be lit. I would love that.
Right. So now you have an army. You already do have an army of sub-2 students all over the country. But if you have people that are non-sub-2 reaching out saying, "Hey, man, I'll be boots on the ground, any market across the country." Or, "Hey, Jonah, here's another thing that could happen. Let me give you guys, paint this picture for you guys. Hey, Jonah, I'm in Santa Fe. We're making Newsies 2. I'm on set, but I just found this house driving for dollars and I need some help." Jonah can help you, can underwrite deals. He can talk to sellers. He can get earnest money. He can do all the things. This is a guy you want to text. So don't make me freaking leverage his magic text message just to get you to text him. Text the man. It's on the screen. 510-726-8684.
It's just funny because the first text is pretty underwhelming. Like it's not that, like way more important is what we were talking about, where it's like, "Mr. Agent, I want you to know that I want to be different than other real." I also do it kind of differently depending however I starting the conversation. I'm like, "Mr. Agent, I want to add value to you because I know most real estate investors you probably work with, they're like, you're bringing them deals and they may check it out or they may not. I want you to know that A, I'm going to look at every single deal you send. B, I want to add value to your business as well. I don't want you just bringing me deals. I want to add value to you." And the way I do that, and then just going back to what we already talked about, like if you're ever on a listing appointment and it doesn't make sense as a listing, let's say the bank's going to foreclose in 3 days. Let's say there are tax liens that need to be negotiated. Let's say there are squatters that need to get out. Let's say there's no equity. I'll go for a couple more problems. And that's the line. That's the line that's going to bring you the most amount of money. And that's why I said that step 0 is give value. It's the entire difference.
Love it. Okay.
Just FYI.
Has anybody texted? Has anybody not texted Jonah? Let's see if anybody's not texted Jonah, because I think that the most important part of this today is that you guys need to get this magic text from him. It's it's step one. Actually, it's not step one. It's step two. Here's step one. Actually, let's start with step zero. Step zero is bring value first. Create that mindset. Don't go into this relationship thinking that you're going to get a deal out of every single time you send a text message, or you might just have somebody that needs help and you just go help them, dude. Go help them, right? And you might get a deal from them in 7 years, but have that mindset first. Jonah talked about that. That was the golden nugget, okay? Step one is get a list of realtors. You can buy them online. The list that I paid for is the highest quality list. It cost about $10,000, but it's for the whole nation. So if you're a non-sub-2 student and you didn't get that list, then go buy the list for your local market for $1,000. Jonah has it for the whole nation. So do all the sub-2 students have it for the whole nation. So that's step one. Step two is now I'm going to text those agents with my magic Jonah pixie dust. And you guys don't, we're not going to give you that pixie dust until I'm trying to force you guys to reach out and squat up with the guy. What do I get out of it? What do I get out of it? I get nothing, except I do want somebody to tell me what the magic text is. Okay, please.
It's just not even that magical. It's funny.
Magical, dude. Just add it when you text it to everybody later. Just add a couple emojis to it, and people are like, dude, that's magical. Okay, so that's step two. Okay, everybody got step 0 through 2, right? 0 through 2. Now, what is step 3? Somebody replies back, like what's a magic line that they text back where I go, I got to get them on the phone? What's the trigger, Jonah?
I mean, try to have a small conversation with as many as you can. Like, I know it takes a long time. This is what I'm trying to figure out the right balance, but the money is in that rapport building of like talking to them. Same way with a seller. Now I'll call them right then and there if they're like, I have an off market that that's immediate. I'm calling them and like, hey, tell me about that. And seeing whether it might be a deal. But
bro, Barbara Christie still does not get this. And I appreciate her pointing this out. She says, I'm still not sure how I can help bring value to Jonah and his counterparts. Barbara, write this down, sweetheart. Let's write this down because I already gave this away. She's like, don't call me sweetheart. I do mean that very politely. Barbara, write this down. Text Jonah and say, hey, Jonah, I live in such and such Wisconsin. I'm not sure where you live, Barbara, but say wherever you live. Barbara sounds like she could be from somewhere in the United States. That's for sure. So Jonah, I'm in such and such United States. If you get a deal in this area and you need me to go open a lockbox or take photos of a property or take a video of such and such, or go meet somebody and grab an earnest money check, or maybe go talk to somebody about X, Y, and Z. The list could go on and on and on. Barbara, send Jonah a text right now. Where do you live? And say, Jonah, I can be your boots on the ground. Your wish is my command. Let's try and do a deal together.
Can I add something to that? Of like something else I really want?
Please, bro. What do you want?
I want, like, I literally
Are you single right now, Jonah? Are we trying to like crowdsource a girlfriend for you?
We could definitely crowdsource a girlfriend if anybody's in San Francisco.
Guys, if you have any referrals,
throwing it out there. If we got some referrals, that would be hilarious.
Love cats, right? Must love cats.
What? I'm not a cat guy.
Are you not a cat guy? You're not that guy? You're not that guy?
I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy that you're thinking of. No, I mean, cats are cool, but nothing special about cats.
What's the number one thing you needed?
The number one thing is this. Okay, so we're going. Number one thing I need in a girlfriend, like we're gonna go.
Does she need to be in real estate?
No, she doesn't need to be in real estate.
Okay, there you go. There's the criteria.
She has to be like, honestly, like probably the thing I'm most attracted to would be
problems.
Problem girlfriend? No, that would not.
Hey, if you're asking me about what kind of girl I date, I could give you the technical analysis, but really at the end of the day, I'm just looking for problems.
Pace, can I come to Arizona and we just go to a bar and you wingman me? How about that? Girl, that would be so fun.
We just hang out. Okay, so
wait, let me say what I actually want.
Tell Barbara what you want, bro. Because she's
I'm going to say what I want. It's the same thing that I want from agents. I want you to bring me problems. I want you to bring me sellers' problems that I can solve. That's the most important thing because that's what is the lifeblood of my business. I love the idea of being able to drive around and being that in all stuff. But I just like not saying that like, and I love it and I appreciate it, but I just got like 180 texts also saying that. the best thing you could do is bring sellers problems, leads. Like that's what I like the most. I think if you can just, even if like what Vincent did with you, Pace, basically, which just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me bang my head against this wall. And if I'm having trouble cracking the wall, let me hit up Jonah.
Right.
That's what I want. That's what I really, really want. And obviously all the other stuff would be great too. I'd really appreciate it. But that's what I really, really want.
Love it. Okay. So Barbara, are we on the same page? Have we checked the box of I understand?
Thank you, Daniel. That makes me happy.
Daniel Quijano. Okay. So what's the trigger that triggers me to get on the phone with that real estate agent? What's the thing that they say in that text message? Like, let's say I send out the magic dust. I then get a reply back and the realtor says, what's one of the maybe 100 things they could say that you're like, whoa, this is an opportunity. I need to get on the phone right away.
Well, always if they say they have an off market, I'd call them immediately. Like if they're like, oh yeah, I have an off market fixer right now, actually, I'll tell you about it. I'll always call over that because I mean, that could in theory be a deal. Usually on the first call, it's not. I haven't had it where the first call, because usually if it's off market fixer, they've been trying to market it. It's not usually a deal, or like it's not really a problem. Sometimes realtors would just send me like ones that are already fixed up completely. And I'm like, okay, did you hear anything I said? I'm a real estate investor, and we have to go through it all over again. But that will definitely get it on the phone. Other than that, I mean, I try to just plan out 5-minute phone calls and just do that quick line, and then they'll like tell me a little bit about them and just be like, great, I can't wait to do business with you.
Mark Rojas. Let's do this. So I'm going to stop it on the thing, because now you've gotten on the phone. You've talked to us about the script. Let's rehearse this, because there's people that literally tuned in 2 minutes ago. They just missed some of the most fun Sunday service we've ever had. Okay. Guys,
we're having a good time.
This is how to crowdsource a girlfriend, creative finance style. Okay.
Oh my God, dude.
If you guys are just tuning
in. If I get a girlfriend this way, that'd be so funny.
I got a Cody hilarious. On a podcast. You're going to get a girlfriend.
I went to a party yesterday and there was a guy who's like, it was so funny. He was like, Jonah Korchin. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, you send my family deals. He like knew my name. And I thought that was hilarious. Like, it's like spreading around. I love it.
Yes.
I love hearing that.
Yes. The plan is working.
Party.
So step 0, bring value. Don't expect anything in return. I'm going to reach out to you and I'm going to work. Do you guys feel like that? Anybody that's in the subto mentorship, do you guys feel like I go above and beyond constantly for you guys and I have nothing to, I don't expect anything in return from you except compliments. I will work for compliments. I'm a monkey. I will work for compliments. Okay. So I have zero expectation. I just want to bring value. Then that's the Lanza way, that you basically sat down at lunch and it was like an eye-opening thing of like, I need to change this thought process. Actually, that wasn't it. You were talking about the wholesale competition thing. That was different. So step 0, value. Step 1, I'm going to get a list. And there was somebody in here that said, why would I go buy a list when I could get it on Zillow or when I could get it on PropStream? Well, the list that I got is actually accurate. Okay. So I'm in a mastermind. It's a very top secret mastermind. I'm not even allowed to say the name. It should be called Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. And I'm in this mastermind. There's an attorney in that mastermind who is a realtor. And I was talking about this list that I got that's like super high quality, amazing data, because a lot of the realtor information that you'll get is just their work email and their office or their broker's phone number. So you're not actually getting a hold of the actual realtor. And she goes, there's no way your list has my information. I'm an attorney and I know how to hide my information and I know how to this, and nobody has ever gotten my information right on that realtor database. It's incorrect. And then she sends me this message. She's like, holy mother of mercy. You have a list that has all my information and my family's information. This is crazy. Where did you get this list from? So have I answered your question of why this list is so valuable? People in the comments. There you go. That's why. Okay. Now I then get that list. I load it into some sort of texting campaign. It could be, I use batch leads. You use REI Reply, the ramen noodles of software.
Exactly.
The man's on a budget. He's eating ramen noodles, right? But it works and it feeds the soul.
It's when I really was eating ramen, and then now I'm just too lazy to switch over is the issue.
That's right, dog. That's right. Nitty gritty. So you then use the texting software. You text out the magic text. And you're now, have you built up the pressure to make sure that, are you going to change the text message before you send it out to anybody? You're like, dang, I got to actually make this
I'm
magical.
Just so ready to send out the text and they'll be like, that's the text. Like it's, anyways, it's just funny.
What's going to happen is you're going to text everybody and they're going to reply back and go, no, give me the real text.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just going to be like, no, that's it. Like Pace just built it the hell up. Like
but what I did is I forced you guys to reach out to this handsome man so that you guys can freaking work with him, right? So that's the next step. Then the next step is, as I start getting people replying, if somebody says, yeah, actually I have an off market, you don't wait for them to say, call me. You freaking call them.
Yep.
Are you calling them from your cell phone? Or are you calling them from like a Google number? Or what do
I call them from my CRM number, because it keeps me organized with like figuring it out. Because also then in the CRM, I can add, once that happens, if they're still, again, I have like this task. If they have an off market, I got a list of realtors that I call every single day until that off market fixer is either sold or something's happening with it. I call them every single day. Like, hey, what's happening with this? Where are we at with this? I record.
How can I help? Anything I can do? 100%.
Like what do the sellers need? Like what's happening here? I record all my conversations. That's cool about REI Reply. It records all the conversations. So that I have like reminding myself if I'm being an idiot and forgot to write something down. So I like it for that too. But every single day, I don't skip a day other than Sundays. This is the first Sunday in a while that I've even thought about. Like Sundays I usually take completely off, but only day I don't talk to most people in real estate, except for you, obviously, because you're special, of course.
That's right.
I just want to, by the way, I'm going to throw this out. I love you so much, dude. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you and Jamil have completely changed my life.
You did hurt my feelings when you left the Subto family for like a month when you were working on astro flipping.
I left for a while.
I was on vacation in California and Jamil was doing a Zoom with his students in the living room of this Airbnb we were renting. And I walk by and I hear your voice, which is super distinct. And I turn my head and I go, is that Jonah? And he goes, yeah, you know Jonah? I was like, Jonah's the homie. Where's he been for the last month? And you're like, Pace, I'm so sorry. I've been in Astro for the last month.
Yeah. It's because I was, anyways. I mean, it was.
Bro, you need to be doing. It's just like you got to treat everything like a college course. You take the course, you move on to another course, and you dabble. Maybe you reference the textbook again, whatever. But you have to go take more course. I'm taking 3 courses right now, bro.
Nice. Oh yeah.
How to crowdsource dates for my homies is one of my courses I'm taking. Am I successfully achieving my mentor's goal for me?
I don't know if you know this. It's just very funny. At least half of our conversations ends with you somehow being like, "Yo, how are you doing with the ladies? Are we doing something with that? What's happening?"
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, you're a single dude in San Fran. There's so many cool things going on there, bro. Hopefully that whole world is amazing for you. So
I love it.
I'm using my text campaign, right?
Uh-huh.
I then find people that have off-market properties that they're working, and I put them in a category in my CRM. Now, here's what I'm thinking, because I actually made a commitment to myself recently that I was going to stop doing Sunday service for 3 hours every Sunday. And I achieved that in January. We cut it down to an hour and a half. Then I made a commitment to myself that I was going to cut Sunday service from an hour and a half down to an hour. And here we are at an hour and 5 minutes. Okay. So what we're going to do, here's what I want to do. We've got 300 people watching live. And what happens is we end up having about 1,000 people tune into these podcasts live, because some people watch for 30 minutes and then they got a thing going on. And some people got out of work, or some people just got out of church or whatever else, and they tune in. So we'll probably end up having about 1,000 people tune in for one moment or another. I want to do 3 things with you. 1, I want you to set up a Zoom with me specifically, because I know you've been doing the daily dial with Caroline, and I've been watching you provide a ton of value to the Subto students. I want you to do a Zoom with me specifically, where I don't joke around the whole time, and we get right down to the.
My bad on that. Also, I mean, I was just having fun with it. I mean,
has anybody else had fun tonight? Has anybody had a good Sunday service tonight? So Jonah, I want to do a Zoom with you specifically for the sub 2 students. And I want to break down the case study of the deal that you made $20,000 on with that real estate agent and talk about a couple of other deals. I also want to talk about people. I want to give your phone number out one more time because there's probably 30 or 40 people in here that didn't know they could text you. Okay.
How many people are on this?
Right now, 300 people are watching live. About 1,000 people end up watching this just today.
I have a little app on my phone that tells me exactly how many texts I have to respond to. Okay. Right now, I don't know how many are from everybody else or just like other texts I've been forgetting. I thought I had 20 on there. Right now, I have 346 texts.
Yeah, that's about 400 texts too small, guys.
It's been like all of tomorrow responding to people.
Perfect. He thought he was taking a day off tomorrow, but he is not. So
today, but anyway, yeah, I'm not taking tomorrow off.
Okay, so guys, we know the steps. Okay, and here's what I want to do. I just gave you guys Jonah's phone number again. It's in the chat. It's actually on the screen, 510-726-8684. Jonah will give you the magic text. The other thing I want to do tonight is who's been watching the Zero to Hero Challenge? Jonah, I can guarantee you have not been watching that.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're not in a position that you need it. Who has been watching the Zero to Hero Challenge live this last week or so? Joe, Barbara, amazing. Barbara, amazing. Tons of people have been watching it. Now, if you haven't had access to the Zero to Hero Challenge, we are going to do something so cool. So check this out, Jonah. Zero to Hero, REI.com. If you guys are not watching it live, get on the waiting list for it. We've decided we're going to do a season 2 and a season 3 of Zero to Hero. Okay, so season 2, check this out. Season 2, oh my gosh, so many people are commenting so fast that I can't even pin a comment. Hold on a second, guys. These comments are going so fast. Zero to Hero, REI.com. Let me pin that. Oh, did you just pin that? Who pinned that for me? Oh, Kelly did. Freaking Kelly. Guys, Kelly, give Kelly Handel some love. She's in the back screen. She's amazing. So I want you guys to, if you have not had access to Zero to Hero, REI.com, I want you guys to go register for the waiting list. Now check this out, Jonah. Tell me what you think about this. We're going to start doing Zero to Hero every season. So season 2, we already know what we're going to do. We're going to build a business only based on a referral-based business in 3 weeks. Okay. So wholesaler dead leads, real estate agent fixers, as Jonah uses. That must be a California term. I'm not sure.
You've never heard of fixer?
We call it fixer upper, and I think it's just not efficient anymore. I think fixers is way better. So I'm switching over.
It's just like they get it.
Right. And so now I'm going to start using your term, dog. So that's what's happening. I'm switching over. So we're going to be doing season 2 is going to be building an entire business on a referral-based business, but it's not going to happen for a couple of months. Okay. So anybody that's part of the Zero to Hero will get access to the live of Zero to Hero season 2. Now, season 3 is the one I'm the most excited about. Season 3 is going to be Matt Beard and I moving to Atlanta with our families.
Whoa.
Yes. And Matt and I both are going to live in the same house, and we are going to build competing businesses with no money, no budget, nothing. And we have 30 days in Atlanta to start, like no car. We have no car. We have no access to money other than we have a place to sleep, and our kids and family are around us because I don't want to be away from my wife. Okay. So Matt and I are going to go do that in Atlanta. That's going to be springtime of 2022. Okay. So guys, make sure you are part of Zero to Hero, REI.com, so you can get access to these types of fun challenges that we're going to be doing long-term. Now, Jonah, the reason I bring this up on your show is because I really wanted Uncle Lonza. I was thinking about having Uncle Lonza come to my house with Uncle or Aunt Lonza and actually build that referral-based business in season 2 here in Arizona, but utilizing Lonza and the Lonza method and all the stuff that I've taught for such a long amount of time that now has been switched to the Lonza method, which is great. So I was thinking about having him there, but I would love to have you participate in season 2. Would you be open to participating in season 2?
Hell yeah. I'm down. Let's do it.
What we might do is we might do a challenge. Are you up for a challenge? Would you compete over 3 weeks with Lonza?
Ooh, that's scary, but I'd be down. I mean,
that's the stuff that you got to do. If it's scary, you got to do it, bro.
It's a little scary to like compete against somebody else, but
he's your brother, right?
No, I love him. I mean, it'd be cool. I'm down, especially if we're doing it in Phoenix. I'll like fucking get a hotel or something and just hang out.
Come stay here.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to stay with you. That would be sick.
I currently have somebody living in my guest house, but when she moves out of the guest house in September, you and Lonza are more than welcome. One of you guys can stay in the main house. Lonza and his wife can stay in the main house. You can stay in the guest house. And what we'll do is every morning for 3 hours, we will build a referral-based business, and we'll actually do it as a competition between a couple of different people, including me, including Matt, including you, including Lonza. And we'll come up with some criteria and we'll have some fun with it.
And we'll also do a crowdsourcing for a girlfriend for me in that month in Phoenix.
Is that
the bonus?
New criteria is they have to be a girl in California?
Well, I mean,
Jonah looking for girlfriend must have a tan.
It would be so funny. That'd just be a funny just add on just because it'd be like, why not? Like just throw it out there.
Yes. Guys, what do you think about season 2, season 3 ideas? What do you guys think about that? Would that be a lot of value? Would everybody get some value watching that stuff happen live? I thought about Uncle Lonza because he's now at a stage and a phase of his business where he can go travel and kind of be footloose and fancy free. So he's like, the second COVID got lifted, homeboy was like traveling around the country with his wife and just getting out. And I'm like, man, if he's just like living that freedom life, have him come to my house. Let's do a season 2 challenge of referral-based business only, dead wholesaler, creative finance leads, and real estate agent fixer leads. We're going to build an entire business.
So what's really funny? You ever heard that?
I've never heard that.
It's hilarious. That's really funny. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like I knew that before real estate. Anyways, I'm interrupting you, man. I'm sorry.
I'm still learning things, bro. I learn something new every day. So Zero to Hero, REI.com. Guys, go subscribe to that. It is going to be something that we continue going on and on doing. The challenges are going to change. The seasons are going to change. It's going to be all about giving back to the community and showing people. Horacio Flores says, when will the Zero to Hero take place? Guys, please answer that question for this man right now. Is the Zero to Hero not happening right now?
It's already happening. Yep.
So people that are just tuning in, Zero to Hero REI is the website to sign up for the recordings. We are currently in tomorrow we go in day 5 of a 15-day challenge where our audience chose North Carolina for Matt, Cody, and Pace to go build a brand new business from scratch. And we already in 3 days have leads coming in and an automated process of those leads coming in. And that happened in 3 days. Okay. And not only did it happen in 3 days, that happened in 9 hours. So 3 hours every single day for 15 hours or 15 days straight. Not 15 days straight, 3 weeks. So 15 days straight. Yeah. So in 45 hours worth of actual work, we are building a business in North Carolina and making it all automated. So somebody with like a 9-to-5 job can watch exactly the step-by-step process while we are doing it ourselves. So if you guys don't know what Zero to Hero is, oh my gosh, you have been living under a stinking rock. Go sign up for Zero to Hero, REI.com to watch the recordings of it. Michael and Roger are correct. Tomorrow is day 6. Thank you so much. So Brian Catalan says Zero to Hero season 33. Freaking, if we had Jonah on season 33 of Zero to Hero, he would be full of gray hair and he'd have like 18 grandchildren.
And like 20 girlfriends.
And 20 girlfriends.
Throw that in there.
You'd be living in, bro. Let's say you're retired. This is a dead question, dead serious. You're retired. Money is not an issue. Where are you living in 20, 30 years?
I don't know. I mean,
are you Montana? Are you a beach guy? Are you?
I love San Francisco. I mean, honestly, like I do love the water and like the bay, but I mean, I also, I don't know. to be honest. Like that's kind of a hard question. I love living in other places. I mean, I was about to say I'm kind of living the life, or I'm gonna try. Like in a week, I'm going to San Diego, and if you're in San Diego, hey, if you're in San Diego, text me right now and let's get
Dustin
lunch.
Kircher. You got to reach out to Dustin Kircher.
I'm gonna be there for a week.
We got some of the best, like SoCal. Mitch Roy, bro, go hang out with the Mitch Roy down there. Freaking
yeah, dude.
Richard Knowles, all the peeps down there, dog. San Diego's a party with all the sub-2 students.
Dude, I'm down. Hit me up there, and I'm testing out to see if I can do my business from wherever. I think I've gotten it to the point where I can't.
Okay, so Jonah, I'm gonna get so pissed off at you right now. If you don't create content around this of like, hey guys, I'm in San Francisco. You can tell obviously because there's sirens and homeless people walking everywhere. Watch me go down to San Diego, and I'm going to set up virtually and continue to run my business. Watch me either succeed or watch me run into challenges I didn't anticipate. Why are you not? Are you going to create some content around that? That's genius.
I am such not a social media person, like honestly.
Meanwhile, you're on Sunday Service, the number 1 podcast besides
talking
Joe
to
Rogan.
you for an hour and 15 minutes or more is beyond like that's more value than anything else. Because I get to talk to you on Zooms, but like this is just a one-on-one. Like I love this. Are
you afraid to create the content, Jonah? Because I think
it's not afraid.
It's unbelievable.
It's not afraid. It's more like, I don't know, like part of me, and this is, I'm going to take up way too much time, but it's also partially like I would say it's partially like a mindset. This is something that I've been working on personally. If we want to get into some of the issues I've been dealing with.
Do you not remember step 0 is mindset?
Yeah, exactly. And you got to constantly be working on it. I'm starting to get a little bit over the fear of success. That's starting to hit me in a way that I was until very recently. It was the fear of like, oh, I'm not going to make it. Now I know I'm going to make it. It's already happening, and I know I can do it. And I'm going to be free and do everything, all these goals that I want. Now I'm kind of getting a little bit scared of like, oh, I'm doing it. Like, what's going to happen? What are my old friends going to think of me? Are they going to like judge me for like being wealthy or like if it's successful or whatever? Like, is it gonna? And so that makes me a little scared with posting content, because most of my Instagram is like my old friends, and we had this conversation on that Zoom, the same Zoom of like me like struggling with this like back and forth. I love them, but I don't know. Like, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. Like, and one of them might be
as much as I want to just tell you like, oh, this is the greatest thing of like, come on the other side where you only hang out with people that are also in the same world and all that kind of stuff. I went through the transition, and I have people that are like, you know, disconnected from my previous life. And there's some pain and anguish related to that. And it was unfortunate that I had to go through the transition, but I'm glad I went through it. And I look back now and I love them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, man, the reality is, forget about you serving me. I have nothing to provide of value to you. Cause like, anyway, that's another conversation for another day. Maybe that's the next Zoom that I have you and I do with all the sub-2 students.
But that's my point, answering your question of why I don't post that much on social media. I might start doing
completely logical.
I might start doing it, but it takes time. Like, I mean, that was a sick intro. I don't even know. I have no idea how I'm going to make that intro to the podcast for, you know, agents and stuff.
Bro, you're going to freaking create some content. Where are you staying in San Diego?
I'm staying with a friend. I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like, my friends just come down. I got you. I'm like, all right, let's go do it.
Yes.
I'm doing that all of July. All of July, I'm just going to be like in random places. I'm going to Utah for a real estate conference. I'm going to
Who are you?
LA,
which one?
7-figure flipping. We talked about it. It's Bill Allen runs it. It's a mastermind I joined because I want to try out. I want to see when are you going to
be in there in Utah? What date?
Utah, I'll be there.
I'm going to be there July 26th and 27th.
No, I'm going to be there the 13th to the 16th.
We will miss each other.
Rats, dude.
That's unfortunate.
Rats.
It's okay, dude. You're going to be here for season 2. You're going to come to Phoenix for season 2 of the Zero to Hero Challenge.
That would be so fun. I would love that, dude.
And what we'll do is we'll have the whole sub-2 family hanging out and we'll be having dinner and doing all sorts of fun stuff during season 2. It'll be great.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Amazing.
With that one.
Look at Matt. Look what Matt posted on the screen. He says,
rip to our previous selves.
Rip to our previous selves. Got to change who we are. So, guys, who got value tonight? We got a good over 1,000 people have tuned into this podcast tonight. So that's great.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely loved seeing you on here. And here's the thing. We're going to have a continuation of this in the Sub2 mentorship. I promised myself I wasn't going to do these podcasts any more than an hour, but Jonah's so dope that we went an extra 21 minutes.
Sorry, bro. Had to make it happen.
Don't be, dog. If I don't tell myself to stop talking, I will not stop talking, because this is like the funnest thing of all time.
I love these. The one with Jamil was super fun too.
Rate this one versus the one with Jamil. Is this a 10 and that one's a 9?
Here's the reason. No, this one's a 10 and this is the only, like, I mean, I love you both. Like, you're basically asking me like which parent is better. Like, it's like I can't choose which parent is better. This one is better because you talked to me for way longer. Jamil's, he cut it at like 30, which is yeah.
To the Moon. Guess who came up with the To the Moon podcast?
You? I don't know.
Me.
Who? Yeah.
Me. Him and I were walking through an airport, and I go, bro, you need to get a podcast going. And all you do is you just highlight your students and put them on a pedestal and like show the world that they need to reach out to your students and do JV deals. And he's like, oh my gosh, but like, what do I call it? And I go, it's astro flipping to the moon. And he's like, oh my gosh, yes. If you look really closely to the Moon logo, my name is in the very, very bottom right corner of that.
Really? I'm going to check it out.
It's not.
That'd be hilarious. It's like you got like a copyrighted Pace Morby subto.
I got Jamil buys me dinner like every other night. So I got everything I ever needed from hooking him up. So, bro, here's the thing. We need to do a sub-2 student Zoom, okay, where we deep dive on that case study. What I want you to do is I want you to answer everybody's text messages by tomorrow. And everybody, here's what I want you to do.
Got 362 of them. It's going to be literally my entire morning.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So here's what I need you guys to do. Not copy, but take a photo of this live. Jonah, what's your Instagram? Let's get everybody following your Instagram.
It's called The Korch. So I can put it in here. It's THE. Yeah, so my last name's Korchin. So the THEKORCH. Made that in high school because I thought it was a sick, 11th grader with that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my Instagram handle. And getting to your point too about like I made it would have been private my Instagram until 2 days ago. I was like, okay, I should let's start making this like real estate related and like actually tell people what I'm doing with my life and stuff like that. So I'm getting over that.
Which one is that? Did you type it in here? Hold on.
How do I type things in?
I'll type it. What is it?
So it's The Korch. So THE and then KORCH.
Korch. I love it. Okay. Korch the Earth, Carlos says.
I've said there's some really good nicknames.
Korch the Earth. I love that. So that's an inside joke for people that actually understand sales process. There you go. Mm-hmm. Of course, there. Daniel Quijano says, I hate you were in high school when Instagram was created.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so The Korch, guys, follow him on Instagram. This is what I want you guys to do. Do me a favor, and I want you guys to take a screenshot, put it on Instagram, and I want you to tag Jonah. I want you to tag him. I want you to show him some love. He came in here, gave you guys step-by-step. Now, if you're a sub-2 student, what we're going to do is we're going to go over and do a 2-hour Zoom. We're going to deep dive. We're going to talk about the deal that Jonah did, and we're going to talk about his business. I want more and more sub-2 students working with Jonah. I know that people are reaching out to you. I know you're doing deals inside of the mentorship. That we have the best mentorship on planet Earth. Would you not agree?
100%. I mean, it's amazing the community you've created, Pace, honestly.
We, bro. You've been in here since August. We have created this together. Daniel Quijano is a big part of this. Everybody on here is a big, big part of this. So thank you guys so much. Jennifer Shelton, I got to talk to her this morning on our early morning Zoom. She had some great questions. So guys, absolutely love seeing you. Jeff Arjun saw you this morning as well. Guys, Sunday service. It's the #1 podcast. Did you know this? It was rated #1 podcast outside of Joe Rogan.
Really?
Not even close.
Like, I mean, I believe it. Like, you're getting there, dude. I mean, I'm just saying, I can name drop you in anything in real estate, and people
are like, oh wow, you're really into Pace pecani sauce. Like, what is this salsa addiction that you have? Like,
definitely not, bro. You're being bashful, but no, you're very well known. Just being part of the mentorship gives you instant credibility. Like, just also going back to when someone was like, oh, what can I add value? Like, even if you're a newbie and if you're just part of sub 2, like you were saying, you have the resources of like millions of dollars in like knowledge easily, and probably millions of dollars just in general.
A couple shekels for sure.
A couple shekels, 100%.
So Jonah, I'm gonna have Kelly Hanno. Legit, I think this is a great idea. We're gonna dig deeper into this. I think what we do is we create a season 2 where we get a bunch of people maybe doing the challenge together. You and Lonzo should just come out to Arizona.
I'm so down for that. That'd be so fun.
We'll coordinate it with Lonzo's busy schedule, because Lonzo's got like grandkids. He's traveling around seeing people. So we'll coordinate and we'll set it up for like a 3-week challenge here in Phoenix, Arizona. And we'll talk about it for a couple of months so other people can get geared up and set up and ready for it. But if you guys who has still not signed up for ZeroToHeroREI.com, who has not signed up for that and needs a knuckle sandwich and a karate chop? Because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous that you haven't signed up yet. ZeroToHeroREI.com. In fact, what I should be doing is I should say, we will only give you Jonah's special magic text if you guys sign up for ZeroToHeroREI.com. Jonah, you're the man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I love it.
Thank you, homie. Let's
please hit me up. I want to do deals with y'all. Just gonna throw it out there one more time, and I'll help you guys with anything you guys.
He wants problems, guys. I
want problems.
Yes, he wants problems. So, Jonah, you're the man. Thank you, brother.
Love you, dude.
Love you too, dude.
It's so fun.
Thank you.